Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to Reclaim Your Real Self. Not Awaken with Jennifer.
Well, Mother-Daughter podcast.
Yep. We decided.
Finally. I feel like this has been such a big thing for kind of...
It's been a play.
No reason.
I haven't been worried about it by any means.
No.
But we did make a final decision and we decided that we were going to name it the name of my business, which is Reclaim Your Real Self.
Which makes sense.
And we kind of described that last time about what that meant, so we can just move forward. And that's, you'll see our new branding and everything. Ericka does it really well.
Well, it's a collaborative effort.
It is. So today we decided we wanted to talk about imposter syndrome. And that came up because, well, I'll let Ericka tell the story.
Well, it kind of just came up because I'm in my third year at university and I'm required to have an internship, like a marketing internship to graduate. Otherwise, I would have to do a capstone project, which would basically be work for free with a group for a business and like just create something for them. So I thought the better option was to get professional experience in the industry, in the marketing industry, and you get paid for it and you kind of get your foot in the door and like after graduation, hopefully they like me, hopefully they hire me, you know, after the graduation. So I've been applying to all these internships and the ones I actually heard back from and the ones that I'm in the process of being interviewed and stuff were the ones that I wanted. But now I've gone through the interviews. The interviews actually went like super well. Like I couldn't have asked for better, like I couldn't have asked for a better situation. Like the people, the managers were so nice and they seemed so passionate about their job and they were excited and like they just made the interview very comfortable. So that really helped. And then also like I just felt like in my element, like I felt like I really like excelled in the interview process and I felt like I was in like my real self for both of the interviews. So now that those interviews are...
Well, you should have seen her come back. When she came back from the interviews, she was glowing. You could see it. I mean, her dad and her, the night before the first interview, were practicing a little bit and you just knew like she was ready. So she went in, she came home, and you could just see the energy coming off her. And I'm like, I could feel, I mean, not only because I could feel it. I'm like, you were in your zone.
Yeah,
right?
well,
I think totally in your zone.
I think I feel that way actually every time I do something along those lines. Like if I do a presentation, if I have an interview, if I have like an important meeting, if I have anything kind of like business related, afterwards I feel like a fire lit underneath me. Like I'm just so excited, I'm energetic, like I'm like, yes, that was so fun, like I can't wait.
It's your passion.
Yeah, so it happened like after these interviews too and I felt really good about them because they went well. But now I'm like, oh my god, I'm hyping myself up so much in these interviews and kind of
which are the truth,
kind of like selling myself, right? Like I want to sell myself to be the successful candidate for these positions. Now I'm feeling a little bit like imposter syndrome. Now I'm like, if I am the successful candidate, I'm now like, oh my god, like, can I do this? Will I be good at it? Am I good enough? And I'm kind of finding myself like backing away into like a hermit shell and like, it's easier not to. Maybe I don't want an internship. Maybe I'll just do the capstone. Maybe I'll just work at Tim Hortons, you know, this summer, like do something like non-pressure because like I'm now being afraid and I'm stepping away.
You think you're stepping away.
I mean, I'm not considering this, like obviously.
Not at all.
I'd go forward with it, but I'm feeling that.
You're feeling, and so we had a little bit of conversation, and I was reminding Ericka that when she was in her real self, she was in her divinity, in her knowing, in her flow, in her zone. She was on par and did absolutely, like, presented who she is, and that she was coming from a space of, this is like absolutely something you're completely in love with and want to do and know you're going to be good at it, and everything in the interviews was so flowy, which means from a higher level perspective it's in the highest for you because it went so well. And you were sitting in that infinite wisdom space.
Yeah.
So that being said, what's happening is her ego is coming back in because our ego wants to protect us. It's its sole job is to keep us safe. And stepping outside of your comfort zone to the ego is not safe. So the ego mind's like, I can't do this, oh my gosh, and it becomes really scared. And that's why, and then it wants to bring us back into the emotion of fear.
Mm-hmm.
So the fear comes up, and so many times we allow the imposter syndrome, the fear, the ego to take control of us and let us sit in the fear and let us sit in this, smallness, so that then we can feel safe. And a lot of times we don't understand that's what's happening, and then we let the things that are really important to us kind of slide on by. And it's easy. It's really easy, and it can be really insidious, actually. And sometimes you don't even recognize it's happening. But Ericka, super brilliant, recognizes this is happening. We had this conversation. You saw it clearly, but it's still real. It feels like, oh my gosh, like I have to actually like be this new, improved version of myself in some way that I just sold to these people.
Mm-hmm.
And what I said is, I'm like, honey, you were in your zone.
Yeah.
It's real. There is no imposter syndrome happening, but it's super easy to, think that that's what's happening because
you're scared.
Because that's just, the way we've been raised to believe, and fear. It's what I like to say. Fear is insidious.
Yeah. So
unless you recognize it.
Well, I think with with that fear and with that like pulling back, and I'm like, oh my god, now I'm having all this self-doubt and like the self-worth kind of like conflictions among myself. I'm now like, I'm recognizing though, I've been in situations where something has really scared me, and I've wanted to back out so many times because it's a defense mechanism, and I'm safer not doing it. I think I'm safer not doing it because then I won't fail. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm scared a little bit of fail. I'm scared to not be good at it. I'm scared to not meet anyone's standards. So it's safer for me to back out than to keep going forward. But then I've realized in the past when I've been in these situations and I actually step out of my comfort zone, and even though it's super uncomfortable and I'm scared and I don't know what to do and I'm kind of acting and like, the fake it till you make it kind of thing, once I step through that gate, I'm like, it feels so good. Yeah. And like, it feels so much better than if I had walked away. Because
you step through the fear. Yeah. It's like the saying that is just like sits with me so much. I learned it from my facilitator, Jennifer Huff, was like, be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Because that's where the growth occurs, and we're here to create. We're here to expand. We're here to grow. We're here to live this fluid, beautiful, thriving, flourishing life. And you sitting in your genius zone, right, which is your passion, is absolutely what's in your highest.
Yeah, exactly.
And the fear just wants to keep you safe. So the fact that you recognize that, and if you're all if there's any of you out there sitting in this space where there's something that's exciting you, but the fear is stopping you, it can feel safe, but it can feel stuck. It can feel stagnant. It can feel bored. It can feel lazy. I mean, it can feel grief and guilt. So many of these lower emotional vibrational states that hold us in this stuck perpetual cycle. And when you don't grow, you don't really live. And what I always say is, I'm just all about thriving and living and living a flourishing, growth-filled and expansive life. And watching you, Ericka, do that is so exciting. Just watching her be in her zone is just exciting. So
yeah, well, I think I just need to remember that feeling. And although like parts of me are like, I can't do this, I'm not going to be able to meet their standards, but then I have to think back what you're saying. It wouldn't have gone so well, and it wouldn't have presented to me already if it wasn't something that I could do. Obviously there's going to be learning curves. Obviously I'm going to encounter challenges, and obviously I'm going to make mistakes, but that is a part of growing. And if I never even had the opportunity to make those mistakes, then I wouldn't even ever, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'd just be stuck. Like, I'd just be doing the same stagnant thing.
Stuck feels yuck.
It does. Yeah. It does. Like, I'm ready for this. I'm ready for, like, a big girl job. You know what I mean? But then
you came in, you're like, it's a big girl.
No, I'm like, yeah, this isn't just like showing up, shutting your brain off, and going home. Like it's a stepping stone in my career. It's getting my feet wet and learning. And luckily, in these interviews, the managers, my potential managers, have been like super amazing, and they're like, we want to be mentors for you. We want to teach you. We want to groom you. We want to like allow you to have the space to grow and get your feet wet and try new things, and we'll be collaborating. Exciting. So I think that's already, I'm like, oh my God, like if that's already kind of the environment that they want to have for me, like that's amazing. So now I just need to get out of my head.
Out of your head.
Get out of my head.
Into your heart, because that's where your real self is. That's where your passion is. That is where your genius zone is. And stay in there as much as possible. And just some side notes of if you're feeling stuck and you're feeling scared, you're letting, the ego mind control you. Just honestly, it's as simple as putting your hand to your heart and taking some beautiful, deep, nourishing breaths. And just center yourself and always remind yourself to come back to that heart space, because that's like the portal of you. That's where you reside, your higher self, your real self, the real you that's just sitting there waiting to have a blast in this life. And taking these big, long, nourishing breaths centers you and brings you back to your real self. It is absolutely the quickest, easiest way to remind yourself how amazing you are. So on that note, please do honestly remember that we all have our passions. We all have those things that are going to have us flourish. And, we hope you find that.
And we hope you take that next step too. Like, although it's scary, you're going to feel so amazing that you even took that next step towards that growth.
And sitting in that energy it's actually contagious. So you get to share that also with the people that you love and that surround you. And so you're giving not only a gift to yourself, but you're giving so much of a gift to everybody else. So doing those things that you love is so vital to our well-being. So I hope you have an awesome rest of your day. And we're so glad that you were able to come along this journey with us and share, and that we've been able to. And thank you, Ericka, for being so real and what's the word I'm looking for? We've been talking about it a lot lately. Vulnerable.
Yeah.
Because, that's sometimes not easy. So.
Well, I'm just kind of hoping, like, when we video these things, that no one actually watches them.
We're not sure many people.
I don't think many people do already, but I'm hoping that kind of, obviously not, but I'm like, I don't really want to know that people know about what I'm thinking, but that's okay.
Oh, you're precious.
Okay. Well,
okay.
That concludes.
Have a great day.
Have a great day, guys.
Bye.